Top of the morning. I hope that you can see me okay. It's 8:20 and it's not quite light all the way out. Anyways, today I want to talk about an herb. I want to talk about nettles. Those little guys. They'll sting the shit out of you if you walk through a field of them. It hurts. It's painful. It stings for a really long time. Apparently that's also very beneficial for arthritic conditions. So next time you get arthritis, just go run naked through a field of nettles. Don't call me afterwards. I don't want pictures either. But anyways, nettles do sting. They are called stinging nettles. They're such a cool plant. They're good for so many different things. When I was in school, my Western professor loved nettles, and she was basically like, if in doubt, if you don't know what to put in this formula, put the nettles in there because they're super, super nutritive. They have a very high mineral content. Most people that are alive in 2018 need nourishment. They need to be nurtured, and chances are that your mineral content is probably off because our soils lack minerals, so our food lacks minerals. If you're taking a sole, you have a better chance, but that's another story. So super good for that. One of the things that people use nettles for a lot is allergies, and they're so effective for allergies, but you do need to take them before the onset of your allergies. They can give you a little bit of relief if you take them once you are acutely experiencing those symptoms, but if you can do 6 weeks before, you know, like if you're like, okay, when the cottonseed trees go off, that's when I'm gonna need it. If you can figure out before then, and you can drink a quart jar, like a jar, you know, a normal quart size jar. Cool thing about nettles is that they can be cold infused as well as warm infused. So if you take tea bags of nettle or just nettle plant material and put it in the bottom of a jar and put just room temperature water and then put them in the fridge or leave them on the counter overnight, when you wake up in the morning, then you have a quart of this nettle infusion, and a quart a day keeps your allergies away. And it's not bad tasting by any means. Some people think it's a little earthy. I really like it. You can add a little bit of peppermint in there to kind of cut that earthy flavor. So a peppermint nettle cold infusion is awesome. And besides the allergy effect that you're going to get from it, you're going to get electrolytes. It's also just something other than water to drink, because a lot of times people are like, oh, I have such a hard time drinking water because it's plain. Try this. Nettles is also good for hormone regulation, but it doesn't have contraindications with birth control pills or anything like that. So it just has such a diverse array of things that it can do in the body. I think that it is a plant that everybody should have in their arsenal. If you've never tried nettles before, try them and figure out how to incorporate them. You can do syrups of nettles, and it's really, really good for iron absorption. So if you make a nettle syrup, and then you can add blackstrap molasses and raspberry leaf, maybe red clover, some other things that are going to impart some iron in there, that's awesome. If you are iron deficient or anemic, or you know, a woman who menstruates and loses blood every month, chances are you probably could use a little help in the iron department. That being said, if you are a man who obviously doesn't menstruate, don't worry too much about taking it and then having crazy skyrocketing iron levels. If you do already have crazy high ones, then maybe contact a professional around you to double check on it. But for the most part, I'd say you'd probably be okay. But yeah, nettles, they're awesome. You can also cook with nettles. This I just realized. So if you kind of blanch them really quick, it'll take off the compound that makes them stinging. So blanch them really quick, and then what did I do? I blanched them, and then I chopped them up really fine with some gloves, and then I blanched them and I mixed them with like onions and salt and pepper, and I cooked them in a little bit of bacon grease, and then I wrapped it in prosciutto, and then just like the prosciutto on all sides, and then I had these little nettle prosciutto wraps. There's actually a picture of it on my Instagram. They were so good, and when I ate them, my body was just like, oh, give me more. I think I really needed some of the nutrients that were in there. So yeah, nettles, they're rad. Go get some. If you have any other questions on how to prepare them, let me know. One last thing, any plant that is high in mineral content typically does well as a vinegar. So if you wanted to do a nettle vinegar, you could do that as well. And you could use the nettle vinegar to cook anything with. Anything that you were going to make, you know, a salad dressing, or if you put a splash of vinegar in a soup that you were making, or if you were going to, you know, reduce some onions with it, you could do that, whatever. But also really good in vinegar. So nettles, all the kinds of nettles, all the ways of nettles. Just don't run through a field.